All right, class, let's get into Tiwanaku proper here. It's a bit of a enigmatic site, uh, I think mainly because there was a heavy amount of looting that went on over the last couple of 100 years, which is kind of made understanding it a bit difficult, but its artifact pattern does as well. So we'll get into that. But anyway, Tiwanaku sits in a valley, and I kind of wanted to just show you this first image to give you a kind of sense of what the outer area would look like, because most of my slides are kind of got the focus real uptight. So I just want to throw that by you. All right. So we're now way down south, further south than we've been before, and we're in the Lake Titicaca area and the basin that's next to it, or that's around it. So regionally influential culture, dating to the Middle Horizon, really big site, but not a huge associated population with it. Now, that might be slightly due to the fact that most of the archaeological work at Tiwanaku has really concentrated on the ceremonial core because it was in such disarray. And I wonder if that population number doesn't go up if and when they start doing kind of more more residential studies. So there's been this kind of debate that I don't know was quite settled. Was Tiwanaku simply a pilgrimage site, or was it more of a cosmopolitan city? I think this PowerPoint will kind of argue more towards the cosmopolitan scenario as opposed to something purely in religious terms. But I don't want to portray it as a settled argument. But there is no debating the ritual significance of many of the things in its site core. All right, so let me move on here. Little image of the Tiwanaku Valley, and you see the site is there in the lake. So how did Tiwanaku come to be? We kind of describe it as pure polity. So imagine that, those Maya kingdoms, all kind of equal strength. These are probably not as big. And then Tiwanaku somehow reigns supreme. And we don't, as I understand it, know how that came to be, how they became the one to flourish at the expense of others. But we do know there were extensive trade contacts, obsidian, maize, 2 different types of basalt. None of these are available locally, but we find them at Tiwanaku. So the site core here, so if we look at the map in the upper right, the modern town of Tiwanaku, and then these kind of really big ceremonial areas that we're going to talk about in the videos that I'm constructing for you for Tiwanaku. So we'll look at Akapana, the sunken temple, as well, Kalasasaya, and then out here at Pumapunku. So we're going to look at all these places. All right, that's it for the first video, or for this video. I will see you in the next one.